Good evening, everyone. I'm back. Sorry, it's been a while. If anyone's around, just please let me know and we can start talking. And I'll be giving you all an update as we go. I've had a lot of things going on in my real life, so I haven't really had much time for Metin, if I'm honest, and especially live streaming. However, I have found the time to upgrade my setup a bit to sort of automate everything a little bit more. A couple of things which I've done is I've got a new mic mount, new camera mount, and organized myself a little bit to make streaming easier. Then as soon as you start coming on, I'll start updating in regards to the gear, and then let me know if the sound is alright. What I will do is probably lower the system sounds because I think it's a bit too loud. Hi Blaster, thank you. It's good to be back. I've been gone for a while. And not Cathay. I'm good. Just been very, very busy. Lots going on. And I'll be updating you with what I've been doing. And that's why I'm doing terribly, because I've got the wrong gear on. And I'll explain what I've been doing in the meantime, because it's been quite hectic. Bruv6036, thank you. I'll be letting you all know what I've been doing in the meantime since I've been gone. I've been gone for, I think, 2 months. The plan was to start streaming again, but things have been very hectic. And as you can see, today there's the event in the evening, which I'm really enjoying these events because it gives an opportunity to get enchantments without having to use the item shop. And so what I've been doing in my spare time when I've had a moment here and there was enchanting stuff, getting stuff up to +9, and I'll show you a few of the items I've got and a few of the items I'm planning on upgrading as well. See what skill book we've got there. Spirit Strike, nothing special. I'm at work, unfortunately. I have to watch back the live later. No worries, mate. I guarantee you'll enjoy it because I've got a lot of updates in regards to everything. Did I read skill books while I was gone? Actually, no. And the reason I haven't is because I haven't got a dedicated character yet, which I've decided I'm gonna take up fully as my main character. However, I have been working on gear, so that, for example, one of my main aims was to make a farmer at level 45, because I'm really enjoying the desert. I'm getting used to the spawns for all the metins within the desert. I kind of know where everything spawns now, and I get a really good success rate in finding metins in the desert, so I'm planning on making a permanent level 45 farmer. But I've collected, I'd say, at least 20-30 plus Aura of Sword and Berserk books, which I'm gonna need. I've got a bunch of Blessing, I've got a bunch of enchantment books, so I've been very lucky there, and I've made a lot of decent +9 gear. I'll just stop a moment and show you what I've been making. Not Cathay, no worries, man. Same here, even though I'm not playing Metin2, I do play Warframe once in a while. I've heard of Warframe, but I've never really looked it up, if I'm honest. Besides upgrades in Metin, I've also been doing some stuff in my little tiny office I've got here. So I've got a very, very tiny room here, which I've made into an office. I've mounted my PC on the wall, got that out of the way. I've got a nice microphone mount with a boom arm that's mounted to the wall. Got a camera mount that's also mounted to the wall. And yeah, just upgrading things all around. Just a sec, 'cause I think I've mucked up my camera. Yeah, that's it. It's a bit sensitive because I've got the cable. If I touch it at all, it just goes haywire. Yep, skill books. I've been farming metons like mad. So I've collected, I'd say, at least 30 aura books and easily 30 plus berserk books. So now it's just a matter of getting a bunch of concentrated reading books to make that process easier. I've got one of my characters which I use for mining, which I'm using all the mining books on. I've got here, so the red iron blade I bought for 30 million. I'm not enchanted as it is now. Added some bonuses, and within the second change, this is what I've got here. So now I just need to get a death blow stone to add to it. And as you can see, I've also done 6-7 bonuses. Since I came back, I had to kind of get used to the new system for enchantments. Just give me a sec, because I'm gonna die here. So I'm learning a bit more about the game since I've been gone for so long. So I'm planning to get some pretty nice gear to make an OP farmer. Which is just a skill book. I've got... this armor's pretty decent. I do have a +9 level 42 armor. I've got it stoned ready. I just need some decent enchantment on it. I've got these +9 silver bracelet, which I think I'll leave the stats as it is, because it's got 10 pierce, 20 undead. Not sure if the others are useful for anything. And then I'll try get some decent 6-7 bonuses on that. I've got a nice +9 battle shield here, which I need to add some 6-7 bonuses as well. I do have a limit which I'm spending monthly of no more than 50 euros, because I think that's a decent budget for this game. I think spending any more would be too much. I don't want to put way too much money in this game. And considering there's the events, they're very helpful, but 6-7 bonuses is a different story. You do need the I'm not sure what they're called, I forgot, power shards or something, to increase the chances to 70%. I've got some nice ebony earrings +9. I had a pair which I think in another live stream we made +8. I then had a scroll which took it to +9. I was very lucky. I'm leaving that as it is. I've got 20 undead and the 10 movement speed. I was really hoping I'd get 10 movement speed, because that helps. Golden necklace +9. I think that's fine as it is for now. It's got nice HP regen, some pierce, some HP. Just need to get 6-7 bonus on that. I've got arrow defense. I do need to mine some more gold occasionally when I'm in the desert. Yeah, that's a baby spider marble. Apparently it's worth about 30 million. Occasionally, the nice thing about Metin these days, for those that hasn't played in a while like I have, it's been about 13-14 years or something. Auto hunt is a nice thing because some people drop things. They'll drop mining books, they'll drop marbles. And just when I'm walking around, sometimes you can get seriously lucky and find one of these marbles. It's only the baby spider ones which are worth anything. And yeah, 10% desert mobs. I'm not sure to which mobs they're referring. I'm assuming it's the ones exclusive to the desert only, so like scorpions, snakes, that sort of thing. Outlaws. Imagine how amazing it would be if you could stream back in 2008, 9, 10. Yes, it would be amazing. But I was a very different person back then. I was very shy. I would never imagine myself streaming back in the day. I was very reserved. Making videos, yeah, that's fine, but the rest, it wasn't really for me at the time. I'm just getting my mic back here. What else have I got? I've got a nice set of shoes here. Got a +9 helmet. I tried upgrading one myself, but luck was not on my side, and just gave in and bought one. I think it was 150 million, something of the sort. So yeah, that's my gear as it is. I've also got some other interesting things I want to show you later. I'm just enjoying the game as it is. Not taking it too seriously, taking my time, not rushing anything. Because I think when you start trying to rush things, you lose a bit of the fun in the game. And I think now I've got a fairly decent weapon for a... Oh shit, I fucked up. Sorry. I've got a fairly decent weapon that I don't need to depend on the young hero weapons anymore. Especially when I get 50 attack power on this, on the 6-7 bonus. I'm also planning on making a mage. I'm collecting books for that as well. And one of the plans, I'm collecting all the... Oh yeah, that's enchanted armor, that's fantastic. I'm collecting the books for the mage. And I'm also collecting leadership books. So I can get an additional attack bonus from that. Some sort of what I'm doing is getting all my ducks in a row to make as OP a level 45 farmer as I can. Not Kate, way back like 15 years ago, but it was something like a full-time job for some. Yes, it was. And that's the thing, time is a real issue. Which is why I did a couple of these little things in my office so I can automate things a bit more. Because setting things up every time was time consuming. Yep, Sunzi. I think I've got enough Sunzi to get it M1. Then I need a bunch of the Woozy. But Sunzi, I think I'm there. It's obviously just a matter of deciding if I'm gonna use them as they are or figure out a way to get concentrated reading for my mage. That's something I'm not sure about yet. Because concentrated reading, I believe there's events for them, but the times which the events take place is a time when I'm at my business, so I can't take part in those events. I'm not sure if they're available for sale on the market. They may be, they may be not. Occasionally I do stop and collect things like the background shields, because I am trying to make one +9. I've got some enchantments. I've got some blessing marbles somewhere. So then if I get one +9, I'll be able to enchant it, so I have some better defense. So I think there's only one place left to check here, and we'll change channels. Enchanted armor, this I can chuck. And I've kind of got the hang of which skill books are worth money, which are not. But I'm often having days where I just don't log on at all. It's just a timing issue. But today was a good day. And so that's where I am. What I'll do actually now is, before we take longer to make that, I think... I'm not too sure, I need to check. I'm not sure if it's that for leadership or if it's that for mining. But yeah, it does take a while. So I've got decent level 9 armor. But my level 42 needs a changer. So I do a bit better with this because of the arrow defense and the damage to HP. So at some point I'm going to make a permanent level 45 farmer, because this one is doing almost as much damage as a level 40 young heroes. I just need a better 6-7 bonus. And one of the other things I need... See, what's the book? Reflect, I think I'll keep it. I can show you some other things while we're here. It's nothing good. One of the other things I need is a good... what's the word? I've got one on here. I've lost the word. Just give me a moment. A sash. I need a good sash. So at some point during one of the future live streams, I'll be going to the shops. I think I've got about 10 in total, nothing crazy. And I'll be asking for your advice on which one I could buy, which makes sense in terms of value for money. I've got a basic idea of how they're made, but it's not something I can make myself. So these are just boots I'm trying to upgrade without much success. Here's a bunch of the books I'm collecting on here. I've got a mining book. As you can see, all the books I'm collecting on all my characters are just good books. I'm throwing away most of the others. I've got a bunch of these shields. I was hoping to make a level 41 helmet +9 as well. I've got one somewhere which is +8. But apart from that, not much else. I'll open up 2 of my other accounts as well to show you guys what I've been doing. I've got something interesting which dropped a couple of weeks ago, which I also made +9. I think you might find interesting. So, as you can see, I've got a pair of daggers here. While leveling up one of my characters to 40 for enchantment scrolls, one of these dropped with a 47% damage, which is interesting because on the US server I had a pair of daggers which were also 47% damage, though those were the level 75 daggers. So I thought it'd be kind of interesting to take them to +9, which I did. It was kind of effortless, if I'm honest. Made some ads on it. Obviously, the ads are rubbish. I'll consider making some 6-7 bonuses at some point, then some stones, just for fun. You know, I'm enjoying these little quirks in the game. You know, it was pure luck, honestly. This was gifted to me by a gentleman named Scenario a couple of months ago. Just a shout out to him if he's around or if he's ever gonna watch this. Nothing interesting here. I've got some more Sunzi books, more Blessing books, Berserk, Enchanted Armor, Berserk, Aura, Blessing. You get the point. I'm collecting as much as I can. I'll also be opening up some more accounts to show you what else I've got. So yeah, the damage is nothing crazy, if I'm honest. The level 30 daggers were never really that good. So I've got an enchanted blade. These I need to sell. Nothing else here. This was interesting. I got a 38% antique bell, which I was considering making for my mage. I've got my last character here. And then I'll open up a new window as well. What's here? Dash, Blessing, not much else. Very basic. I was trying to change up a full moon sword without much luck, unfortunately. So that's going to remain as is for now. Let's see if I can get another window on screen. Just give me a sec, maybe. I'll have to change something over here. See if I can fix this up. So I need to make a new window capture. It's not the one. Display capture, that's the one. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Let's see if I can fix this. There you go. That's it. Okay. Sorry about that. Hey Pawa, how are you doing? I read somewhere that male female classes have different attack speed. Is that true? On the US server, it was definitely true. For the assassins, I'm certain. So archers used to have a bit of a nerf, not intentional. It was probably a bug, which obviously on the US server, because nothing ever got patched, on that server was never fixed. So basically, female archers used to be able to attack much quicker than the male ones, because obviously the males on the mage and assassin were made afterwards. I don't know when that was. It was way before the US server, as far as I'm aware. And I believe Suras and warriors were originally only male, and then the females were made. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the story I recall. Yep. Hi Power, how are you doing? Maximum attack speed, yep. Corexel, hi dude, how are you doing? Sorry it's been a while, but lots of things have been happening in my life. But we're back. And I was just showing a bit of the gear I've been collecting. I've been collecting some books. I've got Aura books and Berserk books, Sunzi books everywhere, because I've got some plans, which you'll be finding out about soon. We'll get back to Crumpet, our farmer. And yeah, the names are all, you know, creme brulee, crumpet. It's all food related. It's just for fun. So yeah, that's basically all I'm doing. I'm collecting stuff I'll eventually need. You know, I've got blessing books everywhere, berserk books. I've got some aura books here and there. Concentrated reading. Right. I know there's events for sure. And they're scheduled for certain dates. I don't know exactly which days those are, but I know it's at a time when I'm not at home, which makes things a bit difficult. So yeah, this is basically all my characters. There's full of books I need, auras, blessings, all sorts. I also need to find the time to do some farming. Anyway, we're back. Just fix this. There you go. And not change channel because we were just on this channel earlier. We'll go to channel 5. But I know there's some events. There's so many events. I just haven't gotten used to them, if I'm honest. So I can't tell you exactly where. I know I recall a couple of days ago I dropped a stack of trees somewhere. They had Easter event recently, and you'd have Easter eggs, and it would give you anything from changers to pearls, all sorts of things. And for those that are just joining us, This is some of the gear I've been building. You can take a look. This was changed. I got that on like the second change. And it's doing almost as much damage as a young hero's level 40. Just need to add a nice 6-7, maybe an attack bonus, maybe strong against mob or something. I need some good bonuses for this helmet. This one I bought because I gave up trying to get one +9. I do have a level 41 helmet +8 somewhere. I've yet to make one +9, but I'm trying. Got a battle shield +9, I've got feint resist on it. And one of the next things I need to do is make a black round shield +9. Till now I've only made a +7. Silver bracelet, I think that's pretty decent as it is. Then I just need a good 6-7 bonus. I've got a nice golden necklace here. I've got the arrow resist built in. I do farm gold, silver and ebony for all the accessories I'm using. Just double checking if anything useful is around here, and we can keep going. These are the ebony earrings I've got at the moment. Those also need a decent 6-7 bonus. These are my shoes. Just clicking back on them again. And eventually I do need a good sash. Eventually one of the live streams we're going to go shopping, and I'm going to ask for your guys' advice because I'm a bit of a noob in that regard. And yeah, most of the time I've been finding hunting methods in the desert very easy. Today the channel seemed very busy, so it hasn't been as easy. But overall I found it better than map 2, personally. If there's any issues with the sound, please let me know. Whether the sounds on the mic is okay and the game sounds not too loud. Sound is fine, good. Because I'm by no means an expert on streaming. Sounds okay, very good. Yeah, the desert's been great. For me, it's by far my favorite for hunting methods. So the plan is, yeah, see, they're relatively easy to find. Does anyone here know? Yes, we're gonna have one for sure. I guarantee it. Does anyone know what's the most ideal 6-7 bonus for farming? I know there's strong against methods. I know there's 50 attack power. I'm gonna have to get up here. No worries. Too much. That's why I need a little bit more work on my gear. If I get that level 41 shield +9, I'll be good. For sure. And at some point I'm gonna need a new battle boar. That was a gift from someone here. You might be watching, I'm not sure. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. But the battle board has been amazing. Yeah, I'm on 17 hours left. I know they're available on Marketplace. So we'll eventually have to buy a replacement. Poisonous Cloud, we don't need that. Yeah, the desert is a bit large. The thing is, with the battle board, it makes things a lot easier. You go much faster. And once you learn the spawns, you kind of know where to go. You know, on average. You know, I've got kind of a pattern I take to find weapons. Question, what are you looking for PvP? Sura, Black Magic, or Dagger, or something else? I'm not too familiar with the current situation on Metin. Sura, they had a lot of resistance from one of their skills. I forgot what the skill is called, which really helped. And obviously they have a lot of ranged attacks. Dagger, the thing with Dagger is it can be, if you have really good gear, it can be quite OP because they attack really fast, you know. I think they're one of the better ones for PvP. But modern day Metin, I don't think I can give you a very informed opinion. But I'd say even a lightning mage is really good. Dagger's always been one of my favorite, you know. It's just the movements are more fluid than I'd say the rest of the characters. It's good that there's an offer for the battle boar on item shop. Is it the 7-day timed one, or is there a permanent one? Because I haven't been looking at the item shop, if I'm honest. So I just need to check. Yeah. And you know, sometimes when I see an antique bell, I get excited, just in case it's got an insane damage. What class was best in PvP when you played Metin2 US? Definitely Black Magic Sura. Warriors. Arahants, or Body Warriors as they're known now. Assassins. Okay, let's say if I had to make a top 3. On my end, I'd be biased because I'd say a dagger assassin, but I had a very, very OP character back then. But definitely in the top 3 there'd be a dagger, body warrior, and a black magic Sura. And for me personally, back in the .us days, there would always be 2 characters which come to mind, which were MF Metal, if anyone recalls, and I think the other one was Abyss Gods. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but they were always known as the most overpowered characters on that server. Was there a BM that could beat Arcamil or MF Metal? Arcamil was a hell of a warrior. Like super OP, you know. He was before my time, then he came back, from what I recall. I can't even say people like Paquette or Bokoloi, because Arcamil, I think he was more geared as an all-round warrior, you know, in a war situation. He could tank almost anyone. In terms of dueling, you might find a BM which could take him down, but overall, he was far superior to most. As for MF Metal, there's no comment, you know. The only time I could get a good hit on him would be during a national war or something, you know. I think there's a couple of clips I've got online on one of the last national wars I took part in, where I would have 2 or 3 skilled him because I got a crit, you know. I think it's time to change channel. Where are we? Just gonna check the middle. But if I had to duel him, I never dueled MF Metal, and I think he was the kind of person, like, if you messaged him, he wouldn't respond or something. You know, it's not someone, he wouldn't be the kind of person who'd be talking, you know, having conversations with people. He'd just come on, play the game. That was my experience with him anyway. Other people might know differently. And the same for Abyss Gods. But if I had to duel him, I'd say probably 8 out of 10 times he would beat me. I could be wrong, I don't know, you know. And the same goes for Abyss Gods. He would wipe the floor with me. That's just my personal opinion from what I've seen on the server back then. A guy, Nika. Yeah, Nika was towards the end, and I think a while after I quit, especially, was an insane warrior. You know, like, that's a guy, if I dueled him, most of the time he would beat me as well. For sure. Sorry, I'm stopping, guys. Just checking if there's anything I need. So 3 days for 50 MD. But yeah, that server was interesting times, for sure. I did stop playing because, you know, there comes a point in your life when you need to make difficult decisions, and that was one of them for me. I didn't want to get lost in the game forever, you know. But now I can come back and enjoy it casually, you know. And the thing with a game like Metin is playing it when you're young. You know, you want to accomplish things really quickly. You know, you don't really have that patience. And coming back to it, when you're much older, the perspective on the game is different. You know, I can take my time, things take months, it doesn't matter, you know. You'd be used to the time it takes to build something. That's a nice drop. We got an enchantment and a skill book. Life Force. Can anyone tell me if Life Force is worth anything? Because I haven't studied the market 100%, so there shouldn't be any more Metins there. 3 days riding time. Ah, that's pretty good. I'll have to take a look, because I definitely need one. That's not much. I'm gonna be honest. I quit. The server was booming at the time. But there was a lot of problems with the server, and there was gold buying. You know, when I'd see people coming, and at the time the economy on the US server was far different to what modern servers are, you know. And I see someone offering 1k for something back then, which 999 million. Like 1k there. You know, 1.555k here, and the gold buying situation was very evident at the time, and there was making the game not as enjoyable anymore, you know. But also in the end I wanted an excuse to quit, if I'm honest. So it was either, oh, it's the gold buyers, oh, it's, you know, people being unruly or whatever, you know. It doesn't feel fun anymore. I wanted an excuse to quit, and then the final excuse for me was not making my daggers +9, which was, in my opinion, a cop-out. I just needed I needed an excuse to quit. But the reason was I needed to give myself some direction in my life. You know, when you make very difficult decisions in your life, it's often going to shape the road you go down on, you know. And for me, quitting Metin was then sort of the next phase to do something else with my life, you know, to start working and figure out what I want out of life, what I want to do, what, you know, feeling useful for something rather than just a video game, you know. Another Metin. It's a bit hard to explain, but it's something I want to get into eventually, because it's very interesting, you know. The decisions you make throughout your life, they can take your life through different directions. I'm not really sure what the +9 chance was. But yeah, I didn't have the... I wasn't paying attention. Oh no, I'm out of potions, actually. No, I'm not gonna be able to do this without potions. So we'll have to come back. And yeah, back then I was... When I quit, I was 19. And I had no patience at all for anything. So it's kind of a good thing I quit. Because if you don't have patience for anything, you start being reckless, you know. You'll spend money on something to try to achieve something where if you'd used your head, you could have done it just the same, you know. So I think patience is a virtue, you know. Rome wasn't built in a day. So, as opposed to when I was younger, I'm enjoying upgrading gear. I used to hate it. Yeah, upgrading gear was like the one thing I hated more than anything. It was so frustrating. But today it's, you know, whatever. Yeah, probably if I had upgraded them +9, I would have said, alright, I'll play a bit more, you know. I've got some, you know, the nice new trinket, you know, to show off and make YouTube videos and, you know, go to war and, like, feeling super OP, you know. No, I wanted a reason to quit, you know, and that was my reason. I think I lost a lot of fun for the game at the end. And there's also a there's a parallel of the person you are. I'll take care of this Metin before I go back for the other one. Yeah, the +9 was everything. There's a parallel between the person you are in a video game and the person you are in real life. Which is something I had to come to terms with. 30% chance with blessing, but I don't know if the chance was different between Gameforge and US. Yeah, it could be. And the thing is, when I stopped playing the game, you know, you'd have to have some sort of self-reflection on yourself. So, beyond the game, what use am I making out of my life? And at the time, besides going to school aimlessly and playing this game and making YouTube videos, I was at a bit of a crossroads. And I had to make a decision what I was gonna do with the rest of my life, you know? Because I wouldn't be where I am if I kept playing Metin indefinitely. For sure not. So, yeah, those are the tough decisions you need to make in your life. And I've made a couple. You know, it wasn't just quitting Metin the first time. It was many other things throughout my life. Actually, now that you mention it, I changed to female because of the attack speed. It wasn't really the attack speed of the daggers themselves. Wasn't the button around here? Yeah, that's here. It was how fluid the character was. If you watch the videos where my character was male, it felt more stiff. The female was more fluid, you know, it would recover from attacks much quicker. You know, it was evident. Poison arrow, don't need that. As you can see, finding methods in the desert it's peanuts. Some days it's even easier. Skill book, nothing else. What's the book? Spirit Strike, off. So I've got this pattern I do for the desert. So I come up to about here, like the midway. Then I'll turn here. Biggest offer I've got. I had a person, I don't know if it was genuine or not, but in 2011-ish, 12, was when I quit. And they sent me a YouTube message, I recall. And they offered me €1,500, I think it was. And to me, I'm a particular kind of person. I don't look at money for certain things. If something helped you become the person you are, whatever that something is, now people might think this is stupid. That's not for sale, you know. And I'll give you an example in a moment. But who I am today is a reflection of all the things in my life, and one of those things was the period where I played Metin, because it's besides building your own character and being so young, you learn certain aspects from other people, you know. You learn more about yourself. It builds character. Also, when you get to a certain level in a game, as I did, you tend to grow a bit of an ego, and you kind of need to learn to keep that ego in check, which then I did learn later on in life, you know. And you learn not to take things so personally. Like if someone criticizes you for whatever reason, you learn not to take it personally. You know, it's character building, and that's something you can't sell. So that account stayed with me to this day. You know, I've still got it. I showcased it in another live stream. Kotam used the account for a couple of years. He did a lot on that account. Might sound stupid, but that's the way I see it. The attack speed is still around between male and female, the same as for every character when you are riding a mount. I didn't know that. I thought they fixed it because the males seem to feel a bit better on the assassin. Could be wrong. But yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, that's my reason for not selling it. But yeah, it was about €1,500. You know, I'm kind of a sentimental person like that. Might sound a bit stupid, but it's what makes us human at the end of the day. I can give you another example. And, you know, things in life are very interesting because whatever you do, it's kind of like that movie. If you've not watched it, it's a good watch. The Butterfly Effect. It was Ashton Kutcher had a starring role in it. So that's a nice drop. Poisonous Cloud. Books are rubbish today. I've had some luck sometimes, but today no. But we got another enchantment. So it's everything that happens in your life. If you go far back enough, you can trace to certain particular events that if they didn't happen, your life could have been shaped completely differently. Why don't you play Sura Weapon? I've considered it, if I'm honest, because some people mentioned it to me, but I haven't had the patience to make a Sura. I might consider it. So, Butterfly Effect. I'll give you an example. When I was 20, yeah, I bought a car which is with me till today. It's an Audi S2, a 1996 model. I wanted it for years. It was something I always aspired to own. And I got the car. After which, Warrior Lycan is faster, so it's okay. 7590 plus. Okay. That's good to know. And after I got this car, a chain of events in my life started happening. If this is of interest to you guys, obviously you might find it interesting or not, or relatable. So I got this car. It's with me to this day. And I started detailing and polishing it and figuring out how to make the paintwork nicer. You know the drill. And I became sort of an expert in detailing. Fast forward to when I turned 22, 23, and I met a gentleman who is one of my best friends through this love for Audis. And it so happened a couple of years later, I was 23, and he had a neighbor which wanted to sell a car. And he did ask me if I could detail it so he could sell the car on, make as much money as he could from it. I said, sure, no problem. And, at the time I charged €150, just to give you an idea. I was 23, this was 11 years ago. Through which, one thing led to another, word of mouth. All of a sudden I found myself being a part-time detailer. Through which some other opportunities came my way. And I ended up becoming not only a detailer, I also ended up starting to import products to sell within the Maltese market. fast forward 11 years just to cut a long story, because it is a very long story. I have my own business. I have two fantastic business partners who I trust with my life. And I can happily say I'm self-employed and I love it. So there's a course of events in your life through the difficult decisions you take, which can shape your life in fantastic ways, you know. And the probability is, if I'd never bought that car, I'd never have met this individual which became my best friend, and I probably would have never become self-employed. I mean, that's the way I see it. You know, things could have ended up very differently for me. And I thought you might find that little tidbit interesting. But yeah, so that's the way I view making difficult decisions. If I never quit Metin, I probably would be. I wouldn't be back here now. You know, I could be doing something else. Yeah, that's the way life is. It's very interesting. Yeah, this channel, I think someone's already farmed it. Just checking for any marbles. We got lucky earlier and we got a baby spider marble. If I find I sound a bit blocked up, it's because I am. I have terrible hay fever at the moment. Does anyone have an opinion on what kind of sash I could get for about 10 ones, 9 ones, something like that? S1 Quattro, yeah. Nice thing about that, one came to Malta a couple of years ago. I saw it live. It was a fantastic experience. And the S2 I've got, it's one of those cars, and the reason I bought it was primarily the noise. The noise is unbelievable. Never gets old. And I've had that car for 14 years now. Just never gets old. So upgrading the daggers was a success at the end. Yes, you could say that, you know. A bad situation turned good. Yeah, you know, I mean, it's making the difficult decisions, I believe, that kind of shape your life for the good. And when I was younger, I was prone to not being able to make the difficult decisions, and that's, I think, a very, very difficult thing to do, regardless of who you are. You know, being faced with making a choice and taking the easy way out, you know. Quitting Metin was not easy for me, believe me. No. But it worked out because I got to come back to Metin anyway, you know. And I'm actually enjoying it. And I think in some ways the game is, I'd say, easier. In some ways. You know, it's easier to get enchantments. It's easier, I think, to upgrade stuff for sure. the Gameforge team is far superior to the US team, for sure. I think the US team was a bit of a shambles. PvP, I'd love to PvP someday, but I'm so far behind. Yeah, I'm a while away from that, but I definitely want to. I just need to learn a bit more about the game, because it's been so long. I'm very far behind, and I'm capping my spend to 50 a month, no more. I can't justify spending more on the game. And I do need it primarily for, 6-7 bonus changing, because the small ones just don't do anything. I had last time I found about 6 of them, all failed. So you kind of need item shop. Yes, I do plan on playing Dagger for sure. Not anytime soon, but it's in the pipeline. For 10-1, there aren't any good sessions on Chimera. Thank you for letting me know. How much do you think for a half-decent one? At least just one to get me started. There's one. I quit US at level 47 because I was stuck. I did not level up or make cash. I was like 14. I'm gonna be honest, I only started making money on that game like into the level 70s, and when I made a farmer. Too many archers. 33-1 from what I see, okay. I could just farm, get the 33-1, then buy one. A sashi won't change for 1 to 2 years, fair enough. What's the book? Wolf Pounds. I think that's rubbish. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's rubbish. Yeah, there's people farming. I like watching the gear sometimes that comes up on here. Just take a look here. What's that from one sword? Yeah, this is some things I need to strong against insects. So I like to see kind of what bonuses people put on them. What's possible, which is interesting. Let's change channel one more time. I'm not going to be on super long today, if I'm honest. Your first time one was Whirlwind. Oh, don't worry, dude. I was no better. I didn't know about the upgrading your skills at level 17. Oh, excuse me. I didn't know about the upgrading skills at level 17 till till very late. Let's put it that way. Like, I got my 5th master at 90. Yeah, there's lots of people farming. You know, sometimes it's easier to come on later. Because most people might have gone to bed. What time is it? It's still 9:30. Let's go channel 6. I think it's quite busy. In fact, at one point, all the channels were full. For a rib, best 6-7 bonus would be stronger against buttons, stronger against monsters, %, or plus attack. Is it possible to get attack and stronger against buttons and monsters? Like imagine having 50 attack and 5 or 8% monster. That's something I want. Actually need to check because I've got... Oops, I fucked up. Sorry guys. Need to make sure I don't die. Yeah. Because I've got the premium pack since I had a Ruby Premium. You get like some bonuses every 30 days or something. I need to remember to activate it. It's hard to get it, yeah. If I get 50 attack, I'll probably leave it at that. Then I'll make a second. Either a full moon sword or something else. Nothing here. Let's go. 6 to 8% metons. It's the best, okay. I've tried Jigsaw a few times, but it's so boring. I saw a few of the new updates they made. A few weeks ago I spoke about a gentleman. I think his channel name was Forever Metin2. And he accidentally sold his pet to the general store. They've, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, they've added a buyback to the vendor. So if you sell something, I think it's up to 12 or 18 items or something, you have the option of buying it back. In case you do something by mistake, which is, at least it's so, even though they didn't help the guy, they kind of listen, you know? It didn't fall completely on deaf ears, you know? It's still sad, you know? And I think I saw someone else who was quitting because they felt kind of pressured in the sense that they need to take part in all the events, like even the very boring ones, like you need to do Jigsaw every week. Even though it's mind-numbingly boring, you know? Fishing for 4 hours. And need to do, so to speak, and to keep up, you know? Personally, I view things a bit differently. I just like to do what I find fun. I'm not about to fish for 4 hours. I'll do it once in a while, you know? For 1 to 2 hours, but I can't do 4 hours a week of fishing, no way. Yeah, he had a pet. I think it was 8 or 900 days or something of the sort, you know? It's a guy called Forever Metin2. He's got his last video titled Goodbye Metin2. Sword spin. Yeah, it's a bummer, and he didn't come back, as far as I can see. Yeah, it's a bummer they couldn't help him. Or they didn't want to, but... I can kind of see why they didn't, because it might set a precedent where they'd have to help a lot of other people with stupid claims. Not saying his claim was stupid, but other people who would either make stuff up or, you know. I kind of get it, you know. There's also a new item at that that you can use to destroy and sell stacks of times 200 to players. Try Metin2 2009. Yeah, I've heard of that server, but I'm not too keen on privates, sorry. I think it got shut down a few weeks after it started, and they started back up. I don't know what's the situation there. No, but I couldn't invest the time, then it gets shut down, and then you have to start again. It's just way too much for me. If it's official and it can stay there, and then if I don't come for a month and then I'm back and everything is still there, that's perfect for me. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I don't know yet about this game, like about the whole Gaia thing. I have absolutely no idea. At some point I will, but at the moment I know nothing. There's also someone on here who was asking if I could make a video about my car, and I might be doing that soon if I find the time. Don't know if any of you find that interesting, but someone last year did mention it. No, it's there's a Gaia market on Metin2, and Gaia as a currency, as far as I recall. But I'm not very familiar with it. You don't need Gaia until level champ. Okay, fair enough. Need to check my bracelets. Okay, that's okay. My gold necklace is almost out, so I'll call it a night very soon. Because next time I'll either have mined some gold, or we can mine it on stream. So here is nothing. Yeah, it's kind of busy now. There's some days when it's not too bad. Nice, we got one. Oh, jeez. That was close. Yes, of course. If you tell me the video, I'll probably... No, I might not remember it, actually. I'll have to go look it up for you. But I can do that, no problem. Enchanted armor, that's nice. If I get a book here and there, I'm good, you know. Just give me a sec. If you had to ride a horse and not a mount with many skin on it, it wouldn't be that relaxing to farm a desert. Yeah, that's for sure. Because it would take ages. Level 40 to 55 match. Name of video. Let me see if I can find it. Just give me a sec. Multitasking here. Let's see. Chrome. YouTube. Level 40 to 55. 40 to 55 match. Let me see. Okay, that's Burned with Desire. Is the track name you're looking for. And it's a particular remix. It's apparently Brian Cross Extended Remix. It's because it's written down. It's a great song, actually. Oh, there's a Metin there. Let me just write that down for you as well. And in fact, one of the things I was hoping to start doing was some of the older style videos with music on them. But I need to try and find some copyright-free trance. And I do have a bit of an idea how I'm going to do that, because some older trance is not claimed for some reason, so you won't get a copyright strike. Yeah, no worries. If I can help, let me know. Skill book. Nothing else. What's the book? Reflect. Are Reflect books worth anything or useful? What's the situation there? There's sometimes a 45 Metin around here, but maybe not. Yes, got one. Yeah, it was so much fun, man. Those are the things which made Metin fun back then. Oi, I'm stuck. Yeah, we're good. So I think one of the next episodes, eventually I want to make the permanent level 45 farmer. For sure. Because now I think we have a decent enough weapon. Rolling dagger, that can go. Usually not. The problem is that blessing gives too much defense for close, so there isn't much to reflect back to. Oh, okay, that's a good explanation. So yeah, buy reflect. I noticed on Chimera there's been a lot of hackers recently. I've seen them in particular in the desert. There's one place I need to check here which might have a Metin. Yeah, I'm going the right way. Maybe he dropped a polymorph marble. Because sometimes you get lucky. There might be. Soon as my gold necklace is about to end, I'm gonna call it quits, guys. It'll be about 10 minutes, I guess. Yeah. Anything here? Yeah, catch the king. Catch the king is... What's that? You have to collect monster cards? What? It's the first time I've heard of it. See if there's anything around here. Yeah, I do get some lag sometimes. Yeah, that's one of the other things I did. I made a wired connection for my office. Because before it was using a home plug, if any of you guys know what that is. And it was rubbish. As I am now with the wired connection, I'm getting about... I think it's 500 down and 40 or 60 up, something of the sort. Which is pretty good. And the ping wasn't too bad. If there's anything here. Yeah, I do need spider legs for sure, because I'm out. And I need those to upgrade background shields. That's it. Usually let the account auto farm with a lot of drop rate and make game sets and play the game. And the minigame is like 70% logic, 30% luck. It's interesting. I think we have time for one more channel change. Yeah, I must have had... I didn't take notice. I must have had not gotten them P yet. I had a decent FMS back then. It was I think it was also a 47%. that FMS. Not sure if my cat's around, because he's usually very, very clingy. Waiting behind here. No, can't see him. That's one of my cats tearing something. Yeah, my FMS at the time was with mobstones. I didn't have a PvP sword for that character. Come on, there's got to be a Metin around here. Hey. Psst. Don't chew anything. I've got two cats. And one of them's the very clingy one. The other one has as well, but the one who's next to me right now, to my left, is the one who likes to eat all my wires. So I usually have to close off my office, otherwise I'll find something eaten. Last time it was one of my monitors. Naughty one. Don't eat anything. Hey, what are you doing? Psst. Oh yeah, magic metal is really useful. 4 to 5 accounts are not on 24/7 at the moment. The cheats just from the event drop magic metal. Yeah, I'm not quite there yet. I've got 3 accounts at the moment. So I've got my cat to my left, and he's occupying my hand, and he wants to cuddle. Hey. What we drop? Skill book, unknown medicine. Hey, you be a good boy. Insidious poison. We don't need that. I'm trying to watch little Eric so he doesn't eat anything. Eric's my cat. One of them anyway. Hey, where are you going? Where are you going? Hey, be good. Hey, come here. Come here. I'm a bit attentive to him because he loves wires, especially the wires in my office for some reason. And the seat I'm on is a Recaro, and it's also wired electrically. I've got heating, I've got cooling, I've got reclining, and all sorts of stupid things you don't really need for an office seat, but you like it because you like cars. A cat's gonna jump on the desk any second now. Let's give him a sec. No, they're jumping on top of each other. Another one. Jesus, where are you climbing? Where are you? Hey, 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 hey. Don't eat my wires. Skill book and nothing else. So if you can make some catch the king sets while farming, that's okay for now. In the future, when you're okay with letting a PC run for 4 weeks non-stop, that's when you can think of farming hard on this. Okay. That happens sometimes. Sorry guys, my thing cut out. Sometimes when I'm on the board and it's going really fast, the window just closes. Sorry about that. Let me even check what book I got. So anyway, I was gonna call it quits for tonight anyway, because my necklace was done and I need to farm gold because I have no gold. These are some of the shards. I bought these on Marketplace, some of them. That's the Ghost Mask Sallet +8 I told you guys about, and I really want one +9, so I'll have another mega helmet, you know, with some more defense, and I can enchant it, but I need it +9. Yeah, okay, good to know I'm not the only one, because it happens quite often. So yeah, I need to make this +9. I've got some spares, so I can get a couple +8 hopefully. And I need a background shield. I got this recently, which is interesting. It's a 20% skill damage. I thought you might find that interesting. But that's it from me. You're gonna be seeing more of me. I'm sorry I was out of action for a few weeks, but a lot's been going on. But we're good now. And I've got things set up way better now. Just to give you an idea, I've got this is on a boom arm, so I've got everything set up permanently. I fixed up my office, so it'll be easier for me to live stream. Even my camera's on a boom arm, so I can just set up everything within two seconds, no problem. 2 months, you're right. Sorry, I'm really sorry, guys. I wasn't expecting it. But yeah, now we're good. Now we're good for sure. That's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, you can let me know just before I log off. No, I won't for sure not. You're going to be seeing me more often now. It's also not just the office situation. It was personal stuff. It was also my business, which became mega busy. We had the most insane March. It was unbelievable, and there's more to come on that front as well. Yes, no, I never forgot you guys. You were always on my mind. I was always gonna come back, and it's not gonna be that long next time. Don't really have anything interesting to show you guys besides what I've been collecting. There's another account I've got which is also full of stuff. I've got a bunch of stuff I need to sell, which will make me some nice money. And I'm gonna aim for that 33-1, so we can get a nice sash as well. Thank you for the advice. That's something that's been on my mind as well, because a nice sash will make farming even easier. So yeah, just so you guys know that I do have plans for Metin as well. Anyway, guys, that's all from me. Take care. Hope you have a nice evening, and as from tomorrow, a nice weekend as well. If I do have time, I'll log in again within next week for sure. So take care, guys. Good night, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.